Hey guys, Loco here with a G2 versus Origen VOD review. So G2 was handed their very first loss of the season by Origen. And Origen's actually been on the up and up. They were a team that started out very shaky. They were 1-4 in their first 5 games. And now they're 5-0 in their last 5 games. So they've actually done a really great job of fixing problems. And they were a team with a lot of hype pieces like Mitty, Patrick, Alfari, Nuke Duck. So I'm pretty curious to see how they shaped up, and we know all about G2. Perked role swapping to AD, Caps being probably the best Western player ever in a lot of people's opinion. So I'm very excited to see how this game went. Yeah, without further ado, let's actually start with the draft. A lot of times I'll skip over draft because I'll just talk about, oh, this is how this draft went, this is this team fight's win condition, this is this team's win condition, and this is the other team's win condition, and we'll just touch briefly on things. But drafting versus G2 is actually super important because they are a team with a lot of flex picks. So let's start with what patch we're on. We're on patch 9.3, and on patch 9.3, one of the most common things to do from purple side is, or red side is banning Lucian, then banning Cassiopeia, and then banning Urgot. Because these 3 champions are incredibly strong, and they don't really truly have counters, so you just ban out Lucian, Urgot, Cassio. And on blue side, you ban out things that the enemy team is good at. So those bans are usually called sniper picks, or sniper bans. You're just sniping away champions that the enemy team is good at that doesn't really affect your draft. So you can see G2 kind of doing that, banning out Alistar, and then banning out Draven. These are champions that Patrick and Mitty are good on. And OG actually doing what I talked about, banning Lucian, Urgot, and I would imagine they last banned Cassio. Oh, they didn't ban Cassio, holy shit. Okay, and then Yasuo, that's another sniper ban too. So G2 is doing a classic blue side strategy of sniper banning out champions that's good for the purple team, which is Yasuo, Draven, Alistar. These are champions that Origen has done well on. And OG is banning out the OPs. They actually banned Jace instead of Cassio. So I'll talk about the Jace ban a little. G2 has actually done a really good job of utilizing Jace. So whenever G2 picks Jace, it can usually go to Caps, or it can go to Wonder, and Jankos will be playing Karthus. And they'll be able to run a 1-3-1 comp with dominant laners, which is exactly what they want to run. And they can do something like Jace and also a Zoe on perks, and they've been able to run a poke comp too. So banning out Jace eliminates G2's ability to run their traditional 1-3-1 comp and a poke comp, and that's why I think the Jace ban went down. So now it's going to be really important for OG to have a plan for the Cassio, because obviously G2 is going to draft Cassio here. Yep, no surprise at all, drafting Cassio. So let's see what Origen prepped to do versus the Cassiopeia. What did you prep? Okay, Karthus, taking away Karthus, taking away Israel. So by taking Karthus and taking Israel, it's doing one thing. When you take Karthus, you're opting into a 1-3-1 comp. I know a lot of people look at Karthus and they're like, oh, Karthus is a great team fighter. And whenever you pick Karthus, you're picking to team fight. That's not true at all, actually. While Karthus is a good team fighter, whenever you take Karthus, especially in Europe, Karthus goes jungle. And Karthus as a jungler he enables 1-3-1 more so than he enables teamfight. Because as a jungler, you're usually the engage, right? When you think junglers right now, the popular junglers are stuff like Jarvan, stuff like Sejuani, stuff like Gragas that can engage for your team. But when you put Karthus in the jungle, you lack engage. But one thing that Karthus brings is a global ultimate that can enable 1-3-1. So Karthus signals OG going a 1-3-1, and Israel also signals that very heavily. Israel's a great 1-3-1 champ. And Israel can also play well into Cassiopeia bot lane. He can farm just fine versus Cassio, but he will lose that on prio early. So that's kind of what OG's doing, already setting up for 1-3-1. And taking away a lot of the picks from G2. I think Karthus is definitely a takeaway pick. Ooh, Pyke this early. Man. Not sure about Pyke this early. And Silas. Okay. So one thing that a lot of teams are having problem with on blue side is blinding something. Because a lot of the champions nowadays have really good counters, and it's really hard to blind pick. Silas is actually a decent blind pick because he can either go mid or top. So he's what we call a flex pick. So Silas is a really good blind a lot of times. Pyke, on the other hand, is just a pick that's getting paired up with Cassio in bot lane. While it can give you a dominant bot lane, Pyke as a blind pick I don't think is that great. It's pretty vulnerable to people just playing correctly. I think Pyke is a very solo queue stompy champ more so than a great support that you can blind pick. Because he's a playmaker and he's also kind of over the top champion, and if you don't have a solid basis to go off of, Pyke can't do that well. Okay, and OG drafting Kennen. I actually really like the Kennen pick here. So Kennen pick will do well versus Silas because Silas is melee. If Kennen goes top versus Silas, he'll do well. And Kennen's other counter, or a really common Kennen counter, is a Jace. And Jace is banned out. So Kennen pick here, good versus Silas, and also one of the counters to Kennen and Jace is banned out. So this is a really nice pick. Overall, so far, I really like OG's draft. I'm okay with G2's draft. I think if this Pyke pick was something else, I would like it so much more. Let's see what they end up banning. They banned Jarvan. So they know G2 is going to want to be a teamfight comp, so they're banning out good engagers, I'd imagine. And also Jarvan is a champion that G2 has flexed both top and jungle, or can flex top and jungle. LeBlanc, they're kind of trying to set up for a good blind pick mid, or making sure Silas has a safe place to go, or Cassio has a safe place to go in mid lane. Let's see what they banned. And then Olaf, looks like their G2 is just banning out some of the early prio jungles. Braum, okay. I would imagine they take All-Star here. I mean, even you guys will say stuff like, oh, you looked at the draft. Or actually, no, All-Star's banned. Fuck, they can't take All-Star. All-Star here would have been perfect, though. All-Star Izzero can just try to survive versus Cassio and Pyke, and later on, All-Star gives them a good front line to play with. What would they draft? They would draft their support here for sure, though. Braum, All-Star gone. Maybe Kench. Kench is something that's okay to draft here. It enables the 1-3-1 even further. I can't think of anything else. They would probably take like a safe melee support. I would imagine Kench. What's a safe melee support with All-Star Braum gone? Oh, Rakan. Okay. That's not really a safe support, but it is like a melee support that goes well with Izzero. Lee Sin, now G2's draft looks kind of messy. They're not a true 1-3-1 comp. They're more of a teamfight comp. And they have Lee Sin and then Sivir. Okay, so it's Cassio mid, Silas top. Silas versus a range champion. And they can just draft to make sure they get a counter for Cassio mid. Yep, Zed. Okay, so let's go out post swap. All the post swap. They can't swap anyone. All right, let's talk about both comps in its entirety. G2 is Origen is a true 1-3-1 comp. This is one of the most 1-3-1-ish comps I've ever seen. If the Rakan was a Kench, it would be even more of a 1-3-1 comp. So they have two split pushers in Kennen and Zed, and they have a Karthus who can back up both with his ultimate. And they have Izzero, who's great in mid lane, and Rakan just gives them an engage. So, but this is a true 1-3-1 comp. As for G2, I'm not sure what they want with their comp. These are team fighters. Cassio is a team fighter, Perked or Sivir is a team fighter. These two want a team fight. Oops. They want a team fight. Lee Sin is like a playmaker. He's not really, he's okay in a 1-3-1 comp. He's okay in a team fight comp. It's a little bit of a question mark. And Pyke is also a little bit of a question mark. I'm not sure how Pyke Sivir are going to do well as a duo. As for Silas can be played in a team fight or a 1-3-1. But Silas needs to do well in lane. And Silas versus Kennen is not good. So I actually have a lot of questions for G2 and their draft and what they wanted out of their draft and what they got out of their draft. G2, one of their greatest strengths is their drafting, and I feel like they botched their draft this game. After the Cassiopeia first pick, I think they should have set things up better so Cassio can go either mid lane or bot lane safely. I think she had a pretty safe way to go bottom, but them kind of sending her mid like this and allowing Locodoco to counterpick is no bueno. If Cassio dies once to the Zed, the follow-up with Karthus ult and Zed ulting her over and over again is going to make it really hard for Cassio. So I'm very, very worried for Cassiopeia. Let's see how this goes. Also for OG, I'm kind of curious why they took Rakan instead of Kench, because I think they were a 1-3-1 comp from what they had, and let's see where the Rakan really fits in. I don't see a lot of, like, Rakan likes it when there's a lot of people engaging for him, right, or people that he can go in with. Zed is a little bit hard to go in with, because whenever Zed's going in, right, Zed will disappear off the map, like he'll phase in with his ultimate, so it's really hard for the Rakan to go in with the Zed. But other than the Rakan pick, I actually think G2 or OG's draft makes sense in its entirety, and it's working really well and nicely together. As for G2, their draft is a little bit more wonky. Oh no, it's European pause. Okay, let's skip through the pause. Oh my god, another one. Okay, the game is actually much shorter then. Okay, we lost a lot of early game and what happened, but it's fine that OG's kind of losing early game. Zed isn't that strong of a champion until level 3 versus range champs. You kind of have to play really scared and play really safe. And then even after level 3, oh my god, another one? Are you serious? What the fuck are they pausing for? Holy shit. Mitty needs a better haircut too. He got it cut way too short. Okay, hopefully no more pauses. Well, I'm pretty surprised, like, Kennen being down CS to Sylas though. It must have had a lot to do with jungle pathing, because, yeah, it looks like G2 is focusing up a lot on top. Focusing up a lot on top. Because Kennen versus Sylas, if you just leave the lane alone, the Kennen usually wins. But the fact that Kennen's down CS means either Alphari played it terribly, or OG's jungle pathing played away from Alphari, and G2's jungle pathing played towards Wonder, which is what happened. The Karthus started his red, and then he jungled towards bot side. Lee Sin, on the other hand, started his red, and then jungled towards top side. So it's called switching sides, where one side plays to the bot lane, one side plays to top lane. Locodoco nicely able to get the wave to crash, and he's trying to cancel Caps' back much as possible. He wasn't able to cancel Caps' back. Really important, Locodoco gets his back here. He got his back off nice and sound. This first buy is really important for the Zed. Because on this first buy and before 10 minutes, you have a timing to kill Cassio. So I'll pause for a little bit and talk about why this buy is important. So Zed has his lethality items early, right? And Cassio has no armor items, and she has no stopwatch, because her stopwatch is on cooldown. It happens at 10 minutes. So right now is a really good window. Zed is 6 and Cassio is 5-2, so he can actually go in for the kill right away. But even if he doesn't go in for the kill right away, just this timing is really, really nice for Zed. It's a time where Cassio can't buy armor and she can't have stopwatch. So even if there isn't a level 6 differential, this is a timing where Caps has to be really careful. Oh, just flash RW. Nice kill. Caps also burned flash initially, so yeah, this is just gonna happen no matter what. I'm not even joking. I could get this solo kill here. No joke. I could get the solo kill there. Because Caps is walking up without flash, so you just flash R, ignite him, and kill him. It was really good that Nuke Duck saw the opportunity and went for it, but I think it was really bad that Caps actually gave that opportunity to. Honestly, that's a really easy kill to go for SZ. Oh man, what the fuck? OG Venton. Damn. Okay, they traded kill for kill, and not bad, and Karthus gets to pick up the farm. Okay. Oh, one thing that's really important too about OG's draft is they have a AP solo laner and an AD solo laner. So something that's really fun that you can do is you can force like Wonder to build MR, right? Because he's versus the Kennen. And later on, when Wonder has his MR built, you make sure the Zed matches the Sylas who has MR built, and it really messes with their item build and what they want to do. Oh wow, he went Ghostblade first. The Zed went Ghostblade instead of Duskblade first. Interesting. G2 doing a really good job of enabling Alphari, or enabling Wonder. Wonder being ahead and Wonder being able to split push on Kennen is going to be one of their primary win condition. I'm curious how Sylas versus Zed goes later on. If Sylas can beat the Zed by stealing his ult, it might actually make it so that Sylas wins the split push later. I have no idea who's going to win the split push later between the Sylas and... Wow. Damn. Losing to Israel Rakan lane as a Pyke. You blind pick Pyke, and you're getting solo killed in a 2v2 setting. Not what you want to be seeing. Yeah, but I'm pretty curious to see how the Zed versus Sylas goes later. Maybe Zed ult is... Yeah, oh, but this is what's so disgusting though, right? Like, Zed in combination with Karthus means every time you ult, it's almost always a guaranteed kill. One of the most disgusting things you can do. But yeah, going back onto the original point, I'm curious to see what happens in a Zed versus Sylas side lane later, because Sylas is actually a really strong split pusher, especially versus melee champions, and he can steal Zed ult, which is going to make him a very, very good... Oh man, this play is something I love to talk about all the time. Early Herald, 100 gold from killing Herald, 2 to 3 plating, that's 160 times 3, 480, or just times 2, or 320 gold, one or the other. And then first turret, 150 gold. Global 250 gold for turret, and 50 gold for turret. The gold swing is fucking huge. It usually comes out to something like 800 or up to even 1,000 gold swing. But early Herald play before plating goes down, before 14 minute, that's what I like to see, baby. Man, this is such a big chunk of gold for OG. Or for G2. Holy shit, I keep getting the two confused. That's such a huge gold on Sylas. Being able to get Herald, being able to get first turret, and being able to get plating. If G2 wins this, it's going to be on the back of Sylas being able to split push on anyone, so it's really nice to see. And this bot lane thing was actually super problematic for G2, because they got schooled bot lane, where they lost their turret without any kind of jungle pressure. I guess like the only pressure that really happened was like Karthus ulting every now and then. Sivir Pyke losing bot lane like this. No bueno. Later on, it's going to really come down to the split push. Let's see what happens. So, wow. What the fuck? How did they get top turret that low? What Sylas wants to do is Sylas wants to push out top and either go bot or go mid. Okay, he's doing it bottom instead. So he wants to push out bottom, and he wants to go mid, or he wants to go into the jungle. And how much pressure Silas is going to be able to buy is going to be really important. And yeah, remember what we talked about? So Silas bought armor items, right? Now Zed doesn't want to go versus Silas. Zed wants to make sure he's versus Cassiopeia in side lane and not the Silas, because Silas has armor. And Kennen wants to make sure he's versus the Silas. That's what OG is going to constantly look for, to try to put the right person versus the other right split pusher. Oh, yeah, the combination of Karthus plus Zed is just really, really detrimental for G2 to actually get stuff done. Any kind of space they give Zed to actually get his ult off makes it that it's a kill. Anytime he gets the ult off, it's a kill. Ult plus ignite. I don't even think... Oh, actually, Perk's kind of trolled by walking up so far forward and using Spell Shield. Another thing that I really don't like that's happening is Perk's going Essence Reaver first. So when you go Essence Reaver, you spike on 2 items, or 3 items instead of spiking on 2 items. Build IE first on Sivir, guys. Damn. The Zed split push thing didn't even really happen. This game isn't being won by Zed split push. It's been won by Zed and Karthus just making picks. But eventually that is going to be their win condition. Zed split pushing with Karthus backup with ult. It's super important that G2 are able to get something out of Silas. They invested so much into Silas, picking him early, giving him a lot of kills, that first turret gold, but they're not getting anything off of it. Okay, here's going to be the Silas versus Zed matchup top lane. This is a super important matchup. Whoever is able to win this side lane matchup is just going to be able to control the game and pretty much win the game. G2 already doing a really good job of supporting the Silas, Lee Sin nearby, shadowing him, and Zed realizing, Zed opting to not be in the 1v1 versus Silas, or making sure he goes to the other lane. Oh man, they're doing the thing I talked about. Remember what I talked about, guys? Kennen versus Silas, and Zed versus Cassio. G2 is actually doing such a good job of making sure it's Zed versus Cassio and Kennen versus Silas. Super smart play from them. Oh man, so Silas actually does beat Zed in a 1v1 like that. I guess it's not a 1v1, but when Silas is able to steal the ult, so the Silas does win. That's such a fun interaction though. So I don't think Zed can beat the Silas, because Silas has Zanyas, and whenever Silas steals his ult, he's not going to be able to win. Goes on caps, gets out, but Silas behind him. He R'd back, but he already got Zed ult, and so he was able to Zed ult and kill the Zed. Oh man, when they're getting caught out there, what the fuck? Why are you even getting caught out? What the fuck happened? Walking up mid lane, stole Kennen ult. Literally let Rakan walked up to him and flash RW. Damn, this should never ever happen. Silas is also really shitty at clearing waves. Why did they have Silas mid? Oh, I don't understand. Because this is a game losing play. Silas should clear this wave and walk out, and it should be Sivir mid. And Sivir's also coming mid, so Silas should be rotating to a side lane. He should either be rotating to top or rotating to bottom with Sivir coming. Silas staying here and trying to clear this wave actually gets him killed. Yeah. Well, he's not even clearing the wave. He's just chilling there and stealing Kennen ult. Him getting killed here. He gets killed, being in the wrong position. Jankos gets killed. Karthus ult on top. And then now they can start Baron, and it's a 2v3 or 3v5 situation, and there's no jungler. I think credit should be given where credit is due, and OG drafted really well, and OG's playing well. But man, G2 fucking up so much this game. Just in lane location, people getting caught out, people not respecting the Zed, people not respecting the Karthus. Man, G2 actually did. G2 and OG both understood the concept of sending the right split pusher to the right lane and getting the good matchup, and they did a really good job of actually doing it. Oh, so Nukeduck just skips Duskblade completely, huh? Is that good? Skipping Duskblade? Why would you skip Duskblade? It's kind of interesting. Maybe Ghostblade and Night Shadow or Knife Embrace is just better. I'm not sure if Duskblade is overrated. Maybe he needed the Ghostblade to have the kill pressure on Cassio, like someone said in chat. Wait, OG took Baron and they did nothing with it. Wait, what happened? They got Baron. Wait, what happened in the last few minutes? I'm sorry, I missed out because I was talking about their stuff. Wait, they took Baron and they did nothing. Okay, so they killed these two. They got Baron. They reset and they're going into lanes. They got top turret. Whoa, and they're just giving mid wave. Wait, what the fuck? Whoa. They're just giving mid wave here. They should be protecting this wave. As Zed is pressuring. Like the whole point of 1-3-1ing is pressuring together and pressuring at the same time. But them not actually pushing up mid. And Kennen, like what the fuck is Kennen doing? Kennen's not utilizing Baron either. He's grouping. What? They got top turret and mid turret. If those are the only two turrets they got, that's not worth with Baron. You should be getting much more with Baron. And I think the problem they had was people not staying in the lanes and actually pushing all the way. It's not giving G2 an opportunity to engage. It's just maintaining 1-3-1 formation. If you don't maintain 1-3-1, then you don't get enough with Baron. Like only getting this much isn't enough. They only got 2 turrets with Baron. Like as a 1-3, oh holy shit, that fight was dirty. Whoa, why did G2 give that engage? So Nukeduck here. Oh, they don't see Kennen from top side. Damn. Who's their top laner? Alfari played that really well. Oh wait, they do see Kennen. They had a pink ward there. They see Kennen here. Oh man. So there's a ward here. And Kennen crosses over and he's coming around. G2 had to back up all the way. They saw Kennen cross over and they still gave it to him. Yikes. I mean, well played by OG. They're forcing mistakes out of G2, but that was so obvious. They saw Kennen rotate and they stayed under turret. G2's actually doing a good job of getting turret without Baron. It's really hard to get turrets without Baron in the meta right now. And like getting flanked like this off, oh, disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, I know the Origen coach is here. Overall, OG is playing the game well and they're putting pressure on G2 in the right spots. I just think the Baron thing was pretty big, not getting enough out of it. Because like what happens usually is if you don't get an inhibitor off the Baron, you keep scaling and you keep scaling and you keep scaling, and champions like Cassio and Sivir are going to hit critical points where they're able to team fight and they're able to become so strong that the 5v5s around Baron becomes really hard for OG. But OG did a really good job of maintaining control and still pressuring without having Baron, so they're still able to maintain like a really good hold on the game. Then this Patrick guy, no fear. Wow. OG's such a well-balanced team, now that I think about it. Patrick's good, Alfari's good, Mithi's good, Cold is good. I mean, Nuke Duck's obviously good. Oh, Zed waiting there. RE, jump back. Cartasol, you can just channel Cartasol. Oh, he didn't channel Cartasol because they were doing Baron. But yeah, the way Zed played it, he zoned off Lee Sin, so he could never come in close to actually get the Baron. Mithi good. Yeah, Mithi good also. But they're such a well-balanced team. Who's like, when the gap between your best player and your worst player is really small, you become really cohesive as a team and you are able to play a lot of strategies. The bigger the gap between your best player and your worst player, the more obvious and the more counterable you become as a team. Oh man, how did he get the first kill without even using ult? WEQ auto, okay, and then ult. Think yeah, so like OG is like FlyQuest, like well balanced, good players across the board, and then you think teams like old G2, like G2 with Yarn and Wadid, like the gap between Perkz and Wadid was like really big, and they become like a really obviously can only play to mid lane, can only play to top lane kind of team. Man, good win by OG. They executed 1-3-1 really well, and they maintained hold on the game even after not doing much with Baron. That was actually a really big thing, maintaining the hold on the game. I gave FlyQuest as an example in terms of like a team that's well balanced, where there isn't like clear weak players or clear strong players. I love Gilioto was like, wait, you fucking compared us to FlyQuest? How dare you? Alright.